Tomorrow, Tuesday, March 24th, Anthony and I are going to do another of our patron hangouts, monthly style. Hang out with us, talk about whatever you want. It's fun, it's on video, and we do it for our patrons. Become one over at patreon.com/wehaveconcerns.
Yeah, so I eat this plant matter protein now, which is hilarious because my heart is trying to kill me, I guess, is what's going on, is my heart would actually like to end its life cycle.
Really?
Yeah, well, no, not really. I mean, it's like I have a history of heart disease in my family and really high cholesterol for my age, like crazy high, but I'm like vegetarian and I eat really well, but so I had to cut dairy now too.
Yikes.
So to get my protein most of the time, I have to eat this plant matter paste, which simultaneously says it's unflavored and then that it has a great taste. So you figure that one out.
Unflavored,
I can tell you
great taste.
I can tell you that both are false.
Yeah,
It is not unflavored and the taste is not great.
Oh man, it sounds terrible.
It's awful, but you know, I don't care about food anyway, so it's fine.
Except that you and your wife try to get reservations for the craziest restaurant in the world, right?
Yeah, it's we're going on our honeymoon, and there's like the #1 restaurant in the world for humans, I guess. Like if you're a human, you want to eat there. Like all the humans took a vote.
Yeah.
There's this place in Copenhagen called Noma.
So you want to eat at the best restaurant in the world, and yet you don't care about food?
YOLO. This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Canada.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens.
Controlling insects.
With your mind.
No, with technology.
Your mind is technology.
Well, we're not there yet.
Rise.
But we've got little kits that you can put on the back of a roach.
Did you say little kids?
No.
Are you talking about Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
they did control bees with little kids.
They didn't really control it so much as they entered into a mutually beneficial relationship with
true.
the bee. The bee was like their friend.
It was.
Yeah. I think it was an ant.
We should work on that technology.
I should rewatch Honey, I Shrunk the
No,
Kids.
it's definitely bees. Maybe that was a sequel?
Right, there was more than one.
They definitely flew on the back of bees.
How do I shrink down Rick Moranis? Keep him in my pocket.
He's already that size.
That's what I want to do.
He's already pocket Moranis. Get a pocket Moranis. No, but we have the ability. You can buy this online right now. A little kit that you affix to the back of a roach.
Yeah, I have it.
No way.
The
really?
Robo-Roach? Yeah.
The Robo-Roach? Oh, the Robo-Roach? Like everybody knows that, the name of it?
I backed it on Kickstarter. I got myself a Robo-Roach.
So where's your army of robotic roaches?
I felt real guilty trying to attach this thing to a roach, actually.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, like so I got the thing and I was like, this is great, because what it is, it's this tiny little backpack that you attach to a roach, and then you connect two like electric leads to its antenna.
Yeah.
And the electric leads basically send a signal to the roach, like, because, you know, they use their antenna as sensors.
Right.
So if they brush up against something with their antenna, they turn.
Right.
And if both of their antenna brush up against something, they try not to crawl in because they feel like it's too small, right? Whatever. So this thing sends electrical impulses to the antenna to make them think that there's an obstacle.
Okay.
So you can press like left or right on your phone and the roach turns. And like, I thought this was the coolest thing and I thought it was amazing. And then it got to the office.
Yeah.
And like, I realized you have to kind of clip their antenna and attach it to the ends. I felt real guilty about it.
So you didn't even do it?
So I didn't even do it. It's still in the box. And I went around the office being like, hey guys, I got this Robo-Roach thing. Like we should, oh yeah, that sounds awesome. Do you want to hook it up? Like I'll let you hook it up. And they're like, wait, why don't you want to hook it up? And I was like, well, I felt a little guilty doing it.
So nobody else hooked it up?
And then, once I said that, people were kind of like, should I feel guilty? Should I not want to do this? And then nobody wanted to do
Everybody felt guilty for the roaches that were infesting the office.
Hey, roaches got a right to live.
I guess. Well, we have gone one step further. Even though you can do this with roaches right now, the real undiscovered country, my friend, is the flying
Star
insect.
Trek 5.
Well, that is the real undiscovered country. But the real, let's say, Borg that we're shooting for here is flying insects, beetles. They have been unable to figure out the exact muscle structure that causes beetles to fly.
Yeah.
Until now.
And the reason this is important is because beetles, flies, other flying insects, if you go online and you look up fruit fly flight, or something like that,
You get to a series of tongue twisters.
Yeah, it's
And
basically a bunch of dirty limericks from there. And then like you wind up watching some really weird porn. I don't know. That's why they call it an internet
that's
hole.
why you should never try to Google fruit fly flight.
But if you did and you didn't get distracted and go down a porn hole like I normally do, you would find that a lot of like high frame rate, super slow motion studies of flying insects from the academic community, because insects can do insane things when they fly. They can bank at these incredible angles and they can catch updrafts and do all kinds of crazy things, and we can't figure out how.
Well, we figured out how. We got this new article sent to us from our buddy Verbatim, who rocks the submissions at wehaveconcernshow@gmail.com. This is an article from Wired that he sent our way, talking about how they have now located two mussels that have very long, difficult to pronounce names. They are also on the tongue twister list that we referred to earlier. These are in beetles, and now they have a backpack that you can attach that shoots electrical impulses into those mussels, and you can fly a beetle around with a remote control. A beetle can carry about 20% of its body weight without any problem at all. So they have this little backpack that's about the size and weight of a paperclip that has a wireless receiver in it that lets you fly this beetle around. There's actually a little video of a dude flying a beetle.
I can carry 20% of my body weight around. I'm stronger than a beetle.
Yeah?
I don't know. I feel like I could. I
don't think it's a competition between you and the beetle.
I think I'm stronger than most beetles.
Well, if we did some sort of training montage and then had you compete with the beetle in a lifting contest.
I can lift way more than a beetle.
A proportional lifting contest.
Yeah. 20% of my body weight?
You can do it.
It's just me. It's just me
running
running.
As much as a beetle.
And then it's just a beetle eating poop. Me climbing up a wall.
You can lift as much as a beetle.
Beetle still eating poop. Me jumping rope.
You can do it.
Beetle still eating poop.
You can lift as much as a beetle. And then last shot is you eating poop.
And then the beetle lifting tiny barbells. But this is kind of neat because for a number of reasons. Number one, now we get to really, really study granularly what beetles can do and how they do it.
And also we have Beetle Army.
And then we have a beetle army.
Cyborg Beetle Army. Dun, dun, dun. You can lift as much as a beetle.
Whenever we need something tiny and light moved for the military in total secrecy, we can send a beetle.
All right. That bug. Well, we got to stop calling them bugs now that we actually use bugs. So the secret listening device that we're going to put in the office, how much does it weigh in comparison
23% of a beetle's weight. You know, here's the problem. The backpack already weighs 20% of the beetle's weight.
Not good.
And like the camera technology that we have
Yeah.
and the audio record, like it's small. Like it's real small, but like
It's not small enough.
it's not small enough. Now, what we could do, use a child. And I know you're against this. Like we've talked about this before, but a child can carry a lot more into a room.
Can it fly?
No. It's a child.
Well, then my whole plan needs to be rewritten.
But I do like
That's a
that's
lot
your
of
only
work.
objection. And that's why I like working here at this secret lab with unlimited government funding and no oversight.
Well, if we shoot electricity into the back of children,
yeah.
how much would it take for them to sprout wings?
I'll tell you what. Give me 3 weeks. We'll find out.
Give me 3 weeks and 48 children.
And $87 billion.
Done and done.
Montage of children being electrically shocked and eating poop.
You can fly as much as a beetle.
So here's the thing, like, I think people immediately begin to think, oh no, this is creepy. We're going to attach little cameras. We're going to attach little
How are
listening
we
devices. I don't know, man.
Well, this article says that they're thinking about potentially using it for relief in disaster situations. Like if there's an earthquake, they can...
You have a tiny beetle buddy that you can talk to so you don't go crazy?
No,
if you're stuck under rubble?
Why are there all these insects on me now?
Oh, I think they're trying to be my friends, but this is just making it worse.
Operation Charlotte's Web has been a massive failure. We'll give them all spider buddies. No, the idea is they would put little heat sensors on the back of beetles and then fly them into areas that you wouldn't be able to reach as a human being and find out if there's body temperature heat signatures in there.
That's very different than the kind of creepy surveillance everybody is thinking about, though.
Well, yes.
I mean, that's basically a beetle and a temperature sensor, and it goes into a room and it's like, yeah, it's warm in there.
Yeah.
Maybe person? That doesn't really give the intelligence community a whole lot. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot of sinister shit you can do with that.
Maybe lingering fart. I don't know.
Maybe person. Maybe somebody left kettle on. Maybe
kettle on.
Maybe Jiffy Pop. I don't know. Could be radiator. This beetle is not sending back great information.
Well, Vince, there's a lot of data here to parse. We got a lot of data from all the beetles that we've been sending out into the field. You know what? They all in the form of questions.
They all say pretty warm.
Here's what I can tell you about the enemy stronghold. It feels nice in there.
It's definitely people.
It feels
or other things.
It feels warm in there. It's warmish.
It's warmish. I'll tell you what. If we invade the enemy stronghold, we don't need to bring a light jacket.
No.
I thought maybe we would.
No, I would say dress, casual.
You know what? Couple light layers.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
That's what the Beatles are telling us.
Oh no! It is Jack action!
That's right.
What is that, a merino wool?
Oh, yes. I just wanted to be comfortable.
It is comfortable. It's very breathable.
You guys have a great ventilation system in here.
I'll tell you what, if you're going to be underneath a mountain for the most of your life,
yes,
you want it to be a little comfortable.
Vladimir.
Jack.
Let's just chill.
Right? It's hot now, dude. 72 degrees. You just want to lean back,
off.
right?
Yeah, let's just relax.
It's very comfortable. I know that moment when it's like, I don't really feel the air.
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah, where you can't tell that the temperature has been modulated.
Yeah, it just sort of feels like, where do I end and the room begins, you know?
Yeah, like I could sleep under the
covers. Hold on, I gotta
covers.
launch this nerve gas missile.
Mm-hmm, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, no, what I was saying is you could sleep under the covers or you could sleep on top of the covers. Either. Wait, what did you just launch?
Ah! You're too late! You know, when you think about army of surveillance beetles, the amount of work that it takes to attach a tiny electronic backpack to a single beetle multiplied times anything but one sounds like way more of a pain in the ass than it's worth. Now my army of beetles well, about that.
Yeah.
We're only 13 beetles in. They're so small and they just keep wriggling around.
It takes a while. It's a long-term project is what it is.
I feel like I knew all of these scientists when they were 6.
Yeah.
I feel like I knew this. I had a neighbor who was like one of my best friends. Weird kid, though. Would definitely like pull the tails off lizards because he heard they grew back.
Oh, no.
Yeah, like that kind of kid. And he would come over with like bags of beetles that he had ripped one wing off of.
No.
And he'd pour them out on the table and be like, look, they go in circles now.
That is not a good kid.
That's not a good kid.
Do you still know him?
Yeah, he's fine now.
Fine. I'm questioning.
No, he's good. He lives in Gainesville, Florida.
Well,
in a
already strike one.
In a garage.
Strike two.
And he makes bongs and pipes.
Oh, bongs. Well,
bongs.
I guess
bongs and pipes.
Oh, bongs.
Yeah, for
all
smoking.
Right.
Yeah.
That's, I guess, the best possible outcome of that kid.
Well, I think that's the trick, right? It looked like he was gonna maybe turn a little sociopathic, a little psychopathic.
Yeah.
Just got into pot, went the other way.
That's the best you can hope for, really. That's a success story, is what that is.
If you're a parent and you have one of those kids who's like, I tied this to a cat's tail, like,
I murdered the squirrels.
Get your kid into pot.
Just mellow him the fuck out.
Better to have a kid who sits on his couch and plays video games and is like, I want to start like a t-shirt company because I have all these funny ideas for t-shirts.
Yeah.
Like,
he could murder or he could just finish off that bag of Doritos.
Yeah. It's better to be sedentary and a little worthless than it is to be a net negative for society. So like, if it looks like he's going to be Hannibal Lecter,
right.
Maybe just steer him towards Seth Rogen.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
One or the other.
Because if a kid has Lecterish tendencies,
you want to get him Rogan.
Get him Rogan. That's the best possible outcome.
Get him real good Rogan.
Hey, that's what my parents did for me.
You know what that's actually the biography of James Franco. Actually,
I feel like Franco could go Lecter or Rogan at any moment.
That's right.
I feel
that's
like
why we're glad he's going Rogan.
No,
currently.
but even smoking pot all the time. I feel like I would not be surprised to find out 30 years from now that James Franco has been like killing people, but also like we all still think he's cool.
I guess.
He's cool.
I don't think he's cool
he's
now.
Like weird.
But...
He's like weird cool.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
When the weird turns to homicidal, I think that's a problem.
Yeah, I feel like it could go either way.
So do you want an army of surveillance beetles?
No, that sounds horribly inefficient.
By the way, Surveillance Beetles is my Beatles cover band that does different versions. I want to hold your hand through the window while you're not looking.
You love that.
I do. I tickled myself. Let it be, and don't look outside.
The formula is take a Beatles refrain
Yeah.
and add something creepy to the end of it.
I know you live in a yellow submarine. I watched you there. I watched you there.
I think, what I'm really excited about with this is it's not going to be an army of beetles. It's going to be a robot army of beetles.
Yeah.
'Cause
You're saying...
It's easier to build, once we know how these insects fly, it's easier to replicate the insect than it is to attach a bionic backpack to the insect. So what we're going to see...
We're just a stopgap now.
We're going to see a bunch of drones, like UAVs, small aircraft, maybe even large aircraft, maybe even, something to take the place of jets. Yeah, like a bug plane.
Oh, give me that bug plane.
Yeah, dude, like in a future anime sci-fi thing where everything's based off of insects.
I love this.
That's where we're going, dog.
That's like
That's the exciting shit.
It's like the owl's jet in Watchmen, but a beetle.
Yeah, because the owl jet was just it was basically like a flying Beanie Baby.
Yeah, it was not intimidating.
It was adorable.
At all. Yeah.
It was adorable, but it basically hovered and made hot cocoa. Like, those are the two things we know that the owl jet can do. I want something a little more intense than that, I think.
Super.
Not pointed at me.
No, of course.
That's what's going to happen, is they're going to be pointed at the general populace.
We're all going to look up one day.
Oh, shit, that's so cool. Okay, I'm getting on my knees. That's fine. Hands behind my head.
There's
Great.
a lot of beetle planes in the sky.
Woo.
I don't want to fuck with that. Yeah.
It's very surveillance statey in the future, but it's also very trickle down. It's like it's like we were talking about military industrial complex, consumer, it's like we were talking about. It's military industrial complex, Then it is sort of consumer prosumer making your life better,
right?
And then it's mall kiosk.
We're at mall kiosk right now.
Yeah.
We're fly a beetle around with a remote control. It's mall kiosk for sure.
What we really want is sort of commuter flight things that are based on these insects, or commuter delivery drones or things like that.
Right.
What we're gonna get is a lot of fucking flying beetle scorpion drones pointed at us from a shadowy government agency.
I think an army of living remote controlled beetles is pretty intimidating.
It's pretty intimidating.
Like flying them like a sea of locusts descending on your enemies.
Dude, I have screws left over when I put new stuff into my PC.
Right.
Do you really think I have the patience, or anybody has the patience, to create an army of living beetles?
Well, that's the one benefit of being a psychopath, is that you have infinite patience and focus.
All of the dads who make ships in bottles have been kidnapped. We don't know where they've been taken. And somehow all these beetles have come out of nowhere.
There's hundreds of thousands of living remote-controlled beetles descending on New York City.
I have kidnapped all of the dads, and I am making them build my robot army. You there, dad?
Yeah.
Get to work on my flying beetle.
Oh, I'll get to work on your flying beetle. Is it Ringo? That's the one thing that dads have over you, bastard!
No, your jokes are horrible.
Team Dad Joke, assemble!
I'm dying. Hi, dying. We're dad.
We're all dad.
What do you guys think? Is this thing cool? Yeah, and I participated. I don't need to hear about how I participated.
One of us.
Sometimes the bit's just sitting there and there's nothing you can do. Do you guys think this is cool? Do you want one of these? Do you think this is creepy? Let us know. You can tell us on Twitter. I'm at @Carboni.
And I'm at Jeff Kanata.
You can send your opinions to it with hashtag #IsThatRingo. And also, if you've seen a story like this and you'd like to submit it to us, you have 2 wonderful ways to do so. You can send it to wehaveconcernshow@gmail.com.
Or you can use our subreddit at wehaveconcerns.reddit.com.